motor. I put it back at end device. I've actually just been running it, well, not running it, spinning it to test balance. And the good news, oh god, I look really white. I don't know, the light's really bright, that's probably it. The good news is I've got the rotor really well balanced. It when you turn it slightly with your finger, it just stops dead. That's good. It doesn't start swinging back and moving like that. You know, when it's not balanced, you normally get a little bit of movement, then it goes back a bit and stuff like that. It's really well balanced, so that's going to be great. And I plan to do a test with that tomorrow. The other update is about the battery pack. So what I did was I used some thermal paste and a thermal fuse, and this is going to be the battery that's in the middle of the pack, which is going to be in this box I 3D printed, which is a series of boxes actually. The idea is that I mount each battery cell in each one of these compartments, then I terminate with some silver, some tabbing, battery tabbing, to wire these individual cells packs in series, because obviously each one of these. Now I've spent about I don't know, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, I lose count. I've spent a considerable amount of time balancing them out and loading them down with the ups with a small load and letting them trickle charge back up again, you know. Well, not technically, it's not trickle charging, but you know what I mean, these ups, they don't supercharge, you know what I mean. So what I've made was this, I called it my thermal fuse sandwich. This is another one with copper tape on both sides, right? And it's basically a piece of plastic with copper tape on each side. So we have a gap between the two sides. And the thermal fuse is connected between this side, and then this is inserted between the negative terminal of the battery, which is the safest point really, because we don't want to risk any shorts between the battery. If the insulation was to get scraped or damaged, it could short the cell out, so it's a lot safer to make these little things on the negative side. So what we have is a thermal fuse mounted and attached to the battery with thermal glue. This is thermal glue, by the way. I can get the light on it really, right? You can see it anywhere. So one terminal, this top terminal, I had to bend it around a bit, is connected on the back side, or where the copper tape is, and that is connecting all these cells together. So I've got some Captain tape on top of here as well. So that terminal comes across, goes to the thermal fuse, then the return is on the opposite side of the strip. That's why I was showing you this one, because it's easy to see it, because I can't, well, but it's hard to take these things out, you know what I mean. They're pretty tight in there. So let me try and get a different angle. You can see that the terminal on the return from the fuse is soldered to the tape on this side, which is connected to the batteries. So if the cells were to overheat, the thermal fuse would break the connection, and the hottest part of a battery pack is always the middle cells. They're always in the center of the pack, because obviously there's less air circulation in the middle of the pack, and that's generally where heat is concentrated when you have an overload situation. But the good news is the UPS has a lot of good protection built into it. So if I was to overload this, this fuse is rated at 10 amps at 96 Celsius. So I'm very low on the, I'm very, what's the word, within a very large safety margin, because these cells can go probably up to 136, 150 Celsius anyway. So basically this fuse would be triggered early rather than late. So yeah, and obviously this cell pack is going to be right in the middle of the pack, which is going to be right in the middle of this box. So that's where the heat would be the greatest. And I've got my cells really well balanced now. They're all within about 0.1, 0.2 of a volt when they've been discharged. This one reads about, I think it's 3.96, this one, and these are about 3.95, 3.95, 3.95. All of these down this end are all about 3.95, 3.96. So that's after I discharged it when the ups turn the power off, and then after recharging, they all came back up to the same level. So that's a good sign. That means that the cells aren't getting out of balance during cycling, you know, as in discharging and recharging. So they're not getting out of balance. That's a really good thing. I did have to swap a few cells around. So what I did was, you can see that by the colours, I got red, blue, green. What I had to do was swap some cells around, because some cells were stronger than others. So I'd put a stronger cell with a weak pack and a weak, you know what I mean, juggle them around until I got them equalised so that they didn't drift out of balance. And they're all pretty good. So I'm hoping to actually assemble this pack probably in a week or two. I don't know, because I want to get on with a magnet motor generator at the moment, and I plan to test that tomorrow. That'll be Tuesday. I've also got a new sofa coming tomorrow, so a friend's bringing a sofa down for me in the morning, so hopefully I can get that all done. Oh, I can't get up now. Oh, shit. Yeah, my legs are going all jelly like. So we should be able to get. I'll just unplug the charger a minute. I'll show you the. So I've been getting the rotor assembly squished in the vise, because it's really well balanced now. So I've got it in the vise to make sure there's none of these segments are sticking out, because they do seat better when you squish them in a bit. And the double-sided tape, I've got them on all the segments now, so they can't come out. Yeah, so I don't want anything sticking out, because that's what catches on the canopy. That's when you have the problems with it scoring the side of the canopy, and I'll show you what I mean about that, because I think I showed it in a previous video anyway. But so what happened was, previously with the other segments, I had an issue where you can see that scoring at the back there, where it's all white. That was where it's catching and rubbing and digging into the canopy, and that side maybe a bit as well. Actually, this is the one I wound with a coil on it. At some point I'm going to wind another canopy. And this is another one that was catching. Where is it? Yeah, you can see the score there, look. That's pretty nasty where it's catching. So I'm trying to avoid that happening again by making sure the segments aren't sticking out. My other canopy's up here. I'm not sure if that was catching. That one wasn't catching by the looks of it. So yeah, that's all good. Anyway, I'm going to put that thing back together and test it tomorrow. So sort of let you see the plan of action. And yeah, loading these batteries down, it's pretty good. Actually, I'll switch it on. So we're fully charged at 27.7. So if I take the unplug the ups, right, it's on battery now. See if I can get this wire somewhere where it's not fall. We dropped down to 26.6 volts under load, which is pretty good. At the moment, all I'm running on it is, hang on, this 12 volt battery charger thing, and oh, let's put the fan on. I've got a fan over here as well, which is connected to the ups. Let's put this on. Let's put it on full. This is rated at, oh, hang on a minute. This thing's rated at 15 watts actually. It's not a lot, but that ups can run the monitor for quite a while. Let's put it on full, and let's go and look at the voltage on the meter. Voltage now is 25.8 with that fan on full. So I'll turn the fan off, and the battery is now at 26.5. So yeah, it'll run small peripherals, like it'll run a monitor up to about 90 watts, but when you exceed the load on the cells, the good thing is that the ups detects that there's an overload because the voltage drops significantly and it just shuts down. So I can't overload this, but the thermal fuse is there just as a precaution, really. Anyway, there's no point in running it down right now. I'll just put the power back on. Oops, shit! I'm gonna need to use my elbow. Right, I couldn't hold it with a. Right, so it beeps and it annoys me. So I thought I'd show you it back at 27.7. We haven't really taken any power out of it. But if I go to my computer, which I've got the lead plugged in now. If I go to the computer, we can see the load factors on the ups. Right, let's just highlight that area. So during the load, we dropped to 94% during that small load on the graph. Let's move my mouse around a bit. So I've got the serial lead plugged into the ups, which is connected to the computer, and that's how I get this data. So we can see that when I first turned it off, which was about there, we had 99% battery level. We had total remaining time 28 minutes, and then as it progressed through time, it went down a bit. I think that's when I put the fan on, somewhere about here somewhere. So let's see, and that's where it's coming back up again. So it's back up to 94%. We didn't have a great deal of load on it, to be honest. That's when the power was interrupted at that point, the red bit here. That's where I unplugged the power, and that's when it was running on battery. So yeah, and after that, after I plugged it back in, which was about there, that point is where it started to come back there. Yeah, so I thought I'd show you that anyway. Interesting. I like this ups because it's got a really nice graph on it. When I bought that other ups, the Cyber Power one, which is across the room, the big one, that doesn't have fancy software like this one does. This one's much it gives you a lot more information. You can program it with a lot more configurations. You can also set it on a timer to shut your computer power off to certain peripherals at a certain time of the night, for example. I've never used that because of my erratic sleep patterns. I've never actually used that, but it is useful if you're in an office and you go home at 5 o'clock or something. Like, you could set it so that it shuts all your computers down at a certain time, which is really cool. I really like that feature. But yeah, as I said, I've never used it because I'm at home. I'm not in an office, so yeah, you never know when you're going to need your computer, do you? So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the update. We'll keep you posted. See you later. Bye for now.